We all know that countries are really re-examining a lot of their national relationships these days. Who is an ally? What does that mean? What kind of relationship do we really have? And that's obviously coming down a lot in the intelligence space. So I saw an article the other week talking about changes in European intelligence. What's happening in Europe? The Trump administration is kind of wreaking havoc on a lot of what Europe considered its traditional alliances outside of the continent. And apparently they're re-examining. So the European Union doesn't have a sort of pan-European intelligence agency. Each country has its own intelligence agencies that do the work. And the article was like a little bit skeptical about could Europe make it happen, because they do. They have all these member countries with all their own intelligence agencies, and not everybody agrees on everything. And those agencies pretty much work for the national interest. And I thought that was a really interesting criticism because you could also say exactly the same thing about the Five Eyes, which is probably the most successful intelligence alignment of all time. The Five Eyes has always had separate bilateral, trilateral relationships within the Five Eyes, depending on the file, the type of intelligence, the needs, the interests. And all intelligence agencies within the Five Eyes pursue their intelligence in the national interest first, in their own national interest first. So I thought it was a really invalid criticism of what's going on in the European Union, because I think that there can be, even if it's just a series of 26 bilateral relationships that each country has, that's still really powerful. It's still in a really interesting foundation to then have more trilateral, quadrilateral. I mean, I think all of that's already happening. I think that European intelligence is probably changing a lot given what's happening with the Trump administration, but that doesn't mean that they can't come to this really powerful, like 27 Eyes alliance that, yeah, sure, is made up of a bunch of smaller constructs within it, with everybody still working in their own, primarily in their own national interest. But as we've seen with the Five Eyes, that can be a really, really powerful group. Anyway, I don't know much about European intelligence. This article kind of caught me by surprise, and I'd love to know more. So if you know what's happening over there, how it's working, what the challenges are, what some of the success stories are, I'd absolutely love to hear them. Other than that, hope everyone's doing great.